Thank you very much. Good morning. And as Steve said, this will be a quick 10 minutes. I know everyone wants to get changed and ready out to ACL. So we were talking a lot the last 2 days about engagement. Obviously, you've heard a lot today that video is one of the most engaging forms of content that publishers and brands can put out. So why isn't it at scale across your O&Os? There's a lot of challenges that come with this, and in the next couple of minutes we'll cover it, but really kind of talking about how to bring harmony to your video strategy. Three quick stats to kind of set the stage. The first came out in Forbes that the average user is spending 88% more time on websites with video. I'm sure it's not surprising to anyone here that that number is bigger, but the fact that it was that high I thought was interesting to bring up. The next two numbers come from studies that we did in the wild. The first is, 46% of Gen Z is watching at least an hour of publisher content. Important to note that this removes all OTT, CTV content. So this is pure content that you guys are creating that they're engaging with. And among Gen Z and millennials, 30% would actually engage more with content if you had interactive features in them. We'll talk a little bit about how you can do that, but it speaks to a lot of what we've already heard today, right? People want it. It's how do you get it out there and deliver it, execute appropriately. But there's challenges, right? The first one, which has been brought up a lot, is like the worst kept secret that video can be very expensive, right? There's a lot of things in that chain to create a profitable video business. You've got the content creation. You've got technology aspects like the video player and the ad server. You've got resources between editorial, product, and the people in this room, right, on the direct and programmatic side. You need to be able to get enough demand and fill so that you're able to deliver back on the business. And 33% of Gen Z would actually watch more video if it fit their screens better. So if you start taking the time to reformat and verticalize that content, that obviously accelerates kind of costs there. You've created the content, you've gotten it out there. What we tend to see for publishers that are creating their own video content and leveraging a pure OVP type solution for an online video platform, that content probably lives on 30 to 40% of their pages, right? It's an editorial decision that video is very specific to that article. But how do you work with all those assets that you created, whether you're a small publisher or like Condé Nast that said they create over 4,000 videos a year? How do you bring that back out? And users are asking for that help, right? About 40% say they would watch more, and they're looking for more suggestions on what new videos from you to watch when they're already engaged with it. So how do we take all these challenges and all the opportunity, because everyone here knows what the real revenue opportunity is? Here's a couple of things that we kind of do for publishers and how we look at it. What we've done is essentially create a full stack player solution that we provide to publishers for free. Right, so they get access to a lightweight, fast video player, a video CMS, a built-in ad server, as well as our demand, both direct and our programmatic partnerships to help complement their direct and in-house programmatic efforts. Right, so working together, you're able to kind of reclaim a lot of the cost within the video process that your teams can use numerous ways. Right, you can pump that right back into the content creation costs. I'm sure there's things that your product teams would like that are on their queue that cost additional funds that you can reallocate already budgeted items. And then even on the programmatic and direct teams, right, there's always additional resources that can be put behind to make sure that you're bringing in the highest dollars. The next is resurface. We talked about how users are looking for recommendations from you on what other content to engage with. This is just one way in which you can do this. This is an add-on to our kind of player. This is our galleries experience. And basically what this is we're suggesting videos below the main player. And we're doing this in a way that not only helps increase engagement and additional views, but we've all seen sites that are doing autoplay sound on everywhere. It's not necessarily the greatest user experience, so most people have defaulted to kind of autoplay sound off, which is great for scale and dollars. But there are opportunities, both direct when you're dealing with brands and agencies where they're asking for that sound on inventory. When users engage with those suggested videos, it plays right in that unit, and because it's been user initiated, it's enabled to be sound on. So it gives you a way to kind of expand the available inventory on your site while still maintaining that kind of user trust and good experience. The next is Renew. So outside of what we're doing for publishers on a main player solution, we also have experiences that help drive video supply at scale and reallocate additional assets that you already have, whether that's articles or videos where we can kind of cut them up into 6-7 second previews and deliver it in kind of a carousel fashion. Whether the user clicks on the image, the title, or the reader watch more, we're going to drive that user deeper into your site, increasing that engagement and those views and page views. But at the same time, this is something, especially for publishers that don't have thousands and thousands and thousands of hours of content, get video supply on their pages in a really clean way without kind of showing third-party assets. The last, before I kind of wrap up here, is reformatting. We talked about how users are looking for video to be kind of fit better on their phone and that experience. And while you can't necessarily go up against some of the platforms that were discussed earlier today, what you can do is be smart about the time and effort that has already been put into place to create that content for those platforms and bring them back to your O&O. So by kind of using our stories experience, which again, you can leverage your articles, your videos. You can add in those interactive elements that users are asking for, like polls and quizzes and emojis. We see great engagement with this, with users swiping back and forth on their phone and working with publishers to make sure that the right content's in there so it delivers the full click-through. But another thing you can do here is you probably already got teams that are creating for Snapchat and Instagram. You're probably not using those platform software to do it. You already own the assets. So why not repurpose that, actually sell ads the way that you want to against that content? And then while you can't, it was talked about in the panel today, right? You can't force users to go one way or the other. They're going to consume content where they want it. If you do provide the experiences that they enjoy, I think you can influence them coming more to you directly. And this is something that you guys can control. That's all I got. Basically how to bring content and revenue together, make sure that you're able to scale this out. You know, a lot of our partners are here and have seen the revenue opportunity. So looking forward to the opportunity to catch up with all you guys later, but thanks for the time.